blast from the outside, but lots of prison people will tell you. Most end before a year ago. On August 21st, 2010, after 40 years in prison and 10 years with Joan, Michael was a free man. Joan was waiting for him in a parked car at the prison gates, wearing an earring Michael had made for her. Joan was so nervous and excited that she hadn't slept the night before. She had a whole romantic vision for the day. She'd made a reservation at a 5-star hotel. Michael walked out wearing his prison-issued jumpsuit, nervous and overwhelmed to be out.
And he didn't kiss me or anything. He just got into the car and said, "Let's go." So it was a very unromantic meeting, and it kind of hurt me.
You know, I was elated, but I was kind of bewildered, you know. I don't think you can describe it.
I thought he would be as warm to see me as he was in the visiting rooms where he'd hug me and, you know, try to steal an extra kiss or something. No, it was very businesslike. It wasn't what they show in the movies at all.
As comprehensive as the contract was, it didn't cover everything. It didn't occur to them to include anything about sex. A quick warning to anyone listening with kids, this next bit of the story is about that. Michael had never had sex with someone he loved, and 40 years in prison left him pretty messed up on that subject.
I did not expect him to be so afraid to cuddle. You know, we have our clothes on and he hugs me all day long, but getting naked with somebody makes him very uncomfortable.
Especially the last few years, she had taken on more and more of a mother figure to me, you know. And when we got in a hotel room together, then I started pacing the floor, identifying with Oedipus Rex, if you know what I mean.
I think what he means is their relationship had shifted over the years, and she was now 79, remember, 16 years older than Michael. Once they were in a hotel room, they realized that the nature of their feelings toward each other were really complicated. Over the years they'd known each other, Joan had gone from initially feeling like she wanted to adopt Michael, to wanting to sleep with him, to now that he was out, a kind of mishmash of all those feelings.
He's still an adopted child, and he's still my best companion, and I love him, and he's my best friend. So it's all together, and I'm comfortable with it.
So Michael moved into Joan's suburban ranch house in Dallas and got to know her family and friends. There were lots of academics, all sorts of people and settings he'd never encountered before. She was surprised how well he did socially, but they had their rocky moments. Joan took Michael to a wine tasting party and he got fall-down drunk. Joan had to haul him outside to avoid making a scene. This happened 2 or 3 times. He never really drank socially before, usually just to get hammered. And at parties with Joan, he'd go too far, partly to calm his nerves. One of Joan's friends, someone who'd been close to Joan's first husband, Pascal, was appalled by her choice of a second husband and ended their friendship. As much of a hassle as Michael was, Joan came to rely on him. I know this tape is a little hard to hear, but one night when I was with Joan and Michael, we came back to their house after attending a meeting on prison reform, and Joan had lost her keys. It was dark out, and Michael said to her, "Let me get in front. You hold my shoulders." Joan is 83 years old now. Michael is 67. Michael guided Joan through the darkness around the side of the house. The only way they could get in was for Michael to reach up through the doggy door and unlock the handle. It was clear they'd done this before.
Well, you have to punch me.
In a way, the biggest thing about having Michael here, Joan says, is having someone around the house. She missed having a companion.
No. Oh, look at there. You got it, Joan.
It's now been 4 years since Michael got out. They've made it way past the trial period in their contract. Michael still leaves the stove on and the front door open, things he never had to think about when he was in prison. He leaves his stuff lying around everywhere. Joan says it's like having a teenager in the house again. But they've learned to deal with all this. Their lives are intertwined now.
Somehow there's an equality of people in this marriage that I didn't have before. I was too dependent upon my husband and his reputation. But, with Michael, it's, I figure I've become free in some strange way. The neighbors have to accept us the way we are now. They got a criminal in their neighborhood. I'd love to have him out there with all of his tats all over him,
Now that Joan is in her early 80s, she started to wonder what's going to happen to Michael when she's gone. That wasn't in the contract. Joan figures maybe they've got another 7 years together.
We'll have to find you another old lady to take you with.
Prospects are going to be few and far between.
I'll find another kindergarten teacher who will really shape you up.
Well, we often say that we should die together,
well.
So maybe we'll drive into a freight train or get hit by an 18-wheeler.
Well, what about a plane crash? Don't you like that idea?
No.
Oh, no, not
No,
that.
I'd rather drown.
Oh.
Until that day, whether they go out together or not, they like to watch Downton Abbey together. They go to plays. Recently, they went to see a Tennessee Williams play at a community theater near their house. And these two people, who have lived very different lives, had the same reaction. They thought the play sucked. They left at intermission.
Christopher Rose. Coming up, Brother Can You Spare a Lime? Siblings on a road trip through Mexico. That is unlike anything that either one of them imagined beforehand. Also, comedian Tig Notaro. That is in a minute. Chicago Public Radio, when our program continues. This American Life is supported by SimpliSafe Home Security System.